The Abandoned Rave. In the outskirts of London, there was an underground club called The Abyss. It was known only to a select few, an exclusive party that required secret invitations. The club had no official location. Instead, every weekend, its whereabouts were revealed to the chosen through cryptic messages. One night, a group of thrill-seekers received an invitation to the Abyss. They followed the instructions to an abandoned warehouse. The bass from the music pulsed through the concrete as they stepped inside. The place was massive, filled with hundreds of dancers lost in the rhythm. But something felt off. The air was thick, almost electric, and the dancers moved in perfect sync, as if controlled by an unseen force. One of the newcomers, a man named Daniel, noticed something unsettling. No one seemed to leave the dance floor. No one stopped for drinks. No one went to the restroom. The longer they stayed, the heavier his limbs felt. His friend Maya grabbed his hand and whispered, "We need to go. Now." As they turned toward the exit, the music shifted to an eerie hum. The dancers all turned to face them, their eyes black voids reflecting the strobe lights. A chill ran down Daniel's spine as he realized the truth. These weren't people anymore. They were something else. They sprinted for the doors, but the bouncers, with vacant stares and twisted grins, blocked their path. The bass grew louder, shaking the ground beneath them. Maya screamed as she was pulled back into the sea of dancers. Daniel lunged to grab her, but an invisible force pushed him back. He stumbled and fell through the exit, only to find himself standing in a silent, empty warehouse. The music was gone. So was the crowd. He was alone. A week later, Daniel received another invitation. The location was different, but the message was the same. He was expected. The Eternal VIP Room. In New York City, an elite club called Elysium was rumored to have a secret VIP room, one that only the wealthiest and most powerful could enter. There were whispers that those who stepped inside never returned the same, or sometimes never returned at all. A young journalist named Evan managed to gain access through a forged invitation. He planned to expose whatever dark secrets lay behind Elysium's doors. Inside, the club was a masterpiece of decadence, velvet-lined walls, golden chandeliers, and a crowd of the rich and famous indulging in excess. But Evan wasn't interested in them. He wanted the VIP room. After slipping past security, he found it at the back of the club. A door marked only by an intricate golden symbol. It was slightly ajar. He stepped inside. The moment the door closed behind him, the air changed. The room was endless, stretching into infinity, filled with people in extravagant masks and gowns from different centuries. The music was softer here, almost hypnotic. Evan felt dizzy, his thoughts clouded. He tried to turn back, but the door was gone. A woman in a Victorian dress approached him. "You're early," she said with a knowing smile. "Most don't find their way here until much later." "Where am I?" Evan asked, his voice unsteady. She leaned in, whispering, "Elysium. The real one. The one where time doesn't move forward. The one where no one leaves." Panic surged through him. He ran, weaving through the guests, searching for an exit. But the further he ran, the more the room shifted, the walls stretching and distorting. Laughter echoed in his ears, growing louder and louder. He turned a corner and found himself right back where he started. The woman was still there, waiting. "Relax," she said. "You have all eternity to enjoy the party." Somewhere outside, In the real world, the club continued its usual business. The VIP room remained closed, its guests forever dancing in a world that never let them go. The Forgotten Basement. In Berlin, a popular nightclub called Oblivion was known for its underground parties. The main club was a maze of neon lights, pounding bass, and endless corridors. But few knew about the basement, a level that officially didn't exist. According to whispers among staff, the basement had been sealed off years ago after a tragic accident. But some claimed that, if you listened carefully, you could hear music coming from below long after the club had closed. One night, a group of partygoers, drunk and curious, found a hidden staircase behind a storage room. Ignoring the warnings of a frantic bartender, they descended into darkness. At the bottom, they found a perfectly preserved club from another era: velvet booths, crystal chandeliers, a massive dance floor. The air smelled of old perfume and something metallic. The DJ booth was empty, yet music played, a haunting melody that seemed to seep from the walls themselves. Then they noticed the dancers. They moved strangely, as if caught in an endless loop, their faces blurred, their bodies flickering like static on an old TV. One of the friends, Hannah, reached out to touch one of them, and the moment her fingers brushed the figure, a deafening silence fell. The lights flickered, and in a blink, the room was empty. The music was gone. The air was stale and cold. They turned to run, but the staircase had vanished. The walls had shifted, trapping them in the forgotten club. The figures reappeared, surrounding them, their faces becoming clearer now. Empty eyes, mouths frozen mid-scream. Hannah tried to scream too, but no sound came out. One by one, they were pulled into the dance floor, their bodies moving unwillingly to the ghostly rhythm. Upstairs, in the real world, Oblivion continued its usual business. No one noticed the new additions to the basement, forever trapped in a party that would never end.